Jason, the pod concludes today, and I imagine it's a culmination of a lot of emotions, feelings, maybe a little bit relief, maybe a little bit disappointment, knowing that that it's all said and done. When you sort of reflect on it, you were able to do something that you wanted to do and win the pod. You were able to send your 20-year-olds away on a winning note. How do you sort of reflect on the last 35 days for your group?
It's been a whirlwind, like you said. It's went by fast, but our game has really improved throughout the pod, and I was really happy for the guys the way it was able to finish, and our team game has come so far, and credit to all the players that are here. It's been a long year, and it was a great way to finish it off, and it's going to be sad to see our graduating guys go, because they were such a big part of this. But it's just the nature of junior hockey, and every player is going to be in that position at some point. And today obviously was their day. But all four of our graduating 20s had tremendous careers. We're a big part of what we're doing, and and for our group to finish off this way was just awesome.
Your team put a few win streaks together, 4 earlier, and you needed to come in with a big win on Friday, and you ran the table in the last 3 as well to put a really solid bow on it. What did you like about the way the team came together? Because ultimately didn't give up very many goals. Shots against were really low as well. It seemed like something that was just sort of building in the right direction.
Yeah, I think anytime if you're going to be a successful team, you got to be able to defend, and it's not just on one guy. You got to defend as 5 guys, and I thought that's really our team really came a long ways in that area. I don't think we were able to defend well enough to allow our offense to win games, and I think that's probably the best way to put it. I don't think there's a few games where we're able to put a few numbers up there, but for the most part, we went on playing good, solid defense. So that bodes well. I think our guys really bought into that, and it's anytime you're playing for win all games like yesterday or the Salmon Arm game was, that's a big part of it, and I thought our guys did a great job.
Let's talk about your 20-year-old players. Again, we usually like to reflect on this, and usually it's at the end of a playoff series or what you hope will be a national championship. But you had 4 20-year-olds, which is a couple few than the allotted number. But the 4 that you had here were pretty impactful. Let's start at the top. Tyler Carpendale, a really good Okanagan Cup, a really good pod season. How much of an impact, and what can you say about his contributions to you?
Yeah, he's just a big, strong kid that skates well, has a heavy shot, and really competes hard. And I think he was a great example for our players, our younger players, to see how hard he plays and then get rewarded for it. I think that's the biggest thing. He scored, he can score different ways, and he checks hard, and he just does everything hard. So I think he's, it was a great way for him to finish, fought injuries throughout his junior career, and to be able to finish like this and put some numbers on the board, I was just really happy for him.
When you brought in Seth Bafaro, he hadn't played a game in over a year, and yet he finishes the pod season, if I'm not mistaken, with 14 or 15 points, and was a big part of it. What can you say about a guy like that who chose to come here and wanted to finish off his junior career, knowing that there was a lot of uncertainty coming in? It takes a lot of faith in what you guys were able to do, and he sure looked great out there.
Yeah, he was a tremendous addition for us. I think at the time there was a lot of unknown in the Western League and the BCHL, and he was able to join us, and he just got better as it went. I think as he got a little bit more comfortable with his teammates, his surroundings, what we were trying to do out there, he became a big part of our success. So killed penalties for us, played on our power play, played against the other team's top line. So he was a big part of our success for sure, and just a tremendous person. And it was we were fortunate to have him for the short time we did, but he'll leave a big impact on our group.
Another guy who sort of made his reappearance was James Porter Jr., and what a pod season he had. You got a glimpse of him last season. He put up great numbers when he was here last year. How important and what kind of an impact did James Porter Jr. make? Obviously, statistically, wins and losses, but as well as maybe a mentor to Rowan Clark and a mentor to some of the other guys.
Yeah, he's had a good junior career. He's played a lot of games, and he when he was here, last year, he came in, did a great job for us. We'd stayed in touch just to seeing what was going to happen his 20-year-old year, and just the way it worked out with numbers and things like that in Spokane, he became available to us again. And, he was a guy that, was exactly what we needed. Rowan Clark has been, real good for us, but a young guy, 17-year-old, it's good for him to kind of, have someone to lean on in certain areas. And I think James did a good job of that with them. And then, obviously his game speaks for itself. He was fantastic here in the pod season. And, he's just real athletic in there and, quiet competitor. And, when he's on, he's on.
The longest tenured 20-year-old you had was Hunter Donahoe. He joined your group last season, and I think it's fair to say there were some ups and downs overall, but when there were ups, you could really see how much of a dynamic player he was, and specifically here in the pod, it seemed like he took not only leadership to heart, wearing an A, but also really a show by example, and he looked like he really wanted to score here in the 20th game, and he was able to do that. What can you say about a guy like Hunter Donahoe, who, like the other 20-year-olds, saved the best for last, and sky's the limit for what that young man can do?
Yeah, Hunter's a great kid. He's very mature for his age. He's going to do great things as he moves into the next level and beyond hockey. And, he's come a long ways as a player for sure. And, a little bit high risk when we first got him, whereas to now just a steady Eddie player and knows when and when not to. And that was just the maturation of his game. And I thought this pod season, we saw the best of him. Did so many good little things, defended hard and chipped in a little offense where he could, but was a huge part of our PK and played against the other team's top line. So, it was important for him to play well in his last 20 here. And there was things that he wanted to do in his game and change, and he showed that. And I thought he was the best version of himself. And, that's probably the best compliment I can give him.
You finished the pod with 13 wins out of 20. You got a chance to evaluate a lot of the younger talent. What a great way to finish it with a win. We'll sort of leave this last question as an open-ended, a chance to put a bow on it, whether it's to the players, the parents, the billets, whomever, a chance to sort of sign off on what was a very well-executed pod season.
Yeah, there's a lot of thank yous to go around, obviously, and I hope I don't forget anyone here, but, it's starting, with the players, obviously, a huge commitment to staying here and going through the process and keeping the belief. And, that was a big part of it. And, really buying in when we did get to play. So a big thank you to them, obviously. Our billets, huge part of this. Without that, this doesn't happen, keeping these guys safe and, to go through this whole year without one, hiccup along the way is just incredible. And, our organization's done such a good job, and our billets have done such a good job, our staff, and, being the host of this pod was a lot of work as well. So, there's some people behind the scenes that did a lot of things and, to pull this off. So, our sponsorship as well, they, still helped us out in a tough time here when, obviously there's no fans in the building, and, they stuck with us. And, we can't wait to get our fans back. I know there's some that are watching online, and that's, they're able to stay connected. And, our social media account is active, and we're trying to keep, our fans as involved as we can, but really looking forward to getting them back here, hopefully in September. And, I think that's, those people are real key, obviously, to everyone that I mentioned in any season, whether it's a pandemic or not, those people are so important and crucial in the lifeline of junior hockey. So, a big thanks just on behalf of our organization to all those people. And, it's, like I said, it's a great way to finish. Everyone feels good about it, and excited to have a little break here, and then refresh and be ready to go here in September again.
Jason, thank you very much for this. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on a very successful pod. Congratulations on a season overall. Really appreciate you taking the time over and over and over again, making yourself available. Thank you so much for this. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Graham.